Welcome to Football Fanatics Plus, where we provide you with the latest in college football and the NFL. Heading into Week 6, the Bucs just handled business against Philadelphia here late on Thursday night. But I want to take a look at some of the division races across the NFL heading into Sunday, starting with the AFC West. So the story that everyone's talking about is the Raiders and Jon Gruden. But my question is, how will Las Vegas respond in a competitive division this year with an eye towards the playoffs? Do they use this as motivation, or is the coaching dynamic going to fold? We'll see what happens. It's wait and see for the Silver and Black as they head to Mile High to face their division foe, also in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos. So Denver started with 3 straight wins against lesser competition, the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Jets. So 3 of the weakest teams in the NFL. So it's a big game for both teams, but we'll see if Denver is for real against a stronger competition in the Raiders. Next up here, let's talk about the Chargers, the LA Chargers. This team has been on fire this year, but both the Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens are 4-1 atop the AFC. Both teams had close games last week, and both quarterbacks are coming off of monster games last week. So Lamar Jackson threw for 442 yards against a pretty decent defense in the Indianapolis Colts in an overtime game, 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Justin Herbert threw for almost 400 yards, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns against Cleveland. Both games have been competitive. Both teams have been competitive, balanced teams. But Justin Herbert, I think, definitely has been the talk of the league. He's been on fire. This team is for real, and this quarterback is for real. So the young gunslinger from Oregon in year 2 faces Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Both teams beat Kansas City this year, so we'll see who sits atop the pecking order of the conference after this game on Sunday. And finally, the Chiefs. So we mentioned that both the Chargers and the Ravens beat Kansas City this year, and the Chiefs are sitting at the bottom of the AFC West. And as of now, looking on the outside in terms of the playoff picture. But it's still early, but I think it's definitely been a surprise to find Kansas City in the position that they're in right now. Some major concerns, especially last week where they got throttled by the Buffalo Bills. The Bills look like one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in terms of balance, in terms of throwing the ball. Solid, really good defense. One of the top defenses in the league this year in Buffalo. So Kansas City did not look good in the rain against this Josh Allen-led team. But it's still early. But on the other hand, if you're a Kansas City team and your goal is to win a Super Bowl and be competitive for Super Bowls every year, you have to beat really good to great teams to get there and to to get back to that stage and win a Super Bowl again. So last week, the defense, which has not been good this year, was absolutely horrid. Josh Allen threw the ball and ran the ball all over the Kansas City defense. So this week, Kansas City is against Washington, who was supposed to have a good defense this year, and they have not been good. So Kansas City, with the weapons that they have, should win this game. But the question is this a must-win game to keep pace, not just in the division, but in terms of the playoff picture with an eye towards the postseason? Kansas City has dug themselves a hole. We'll see if they can make that climb, that uphill climb back into the playoff picture. So they are 2-3. Granted, those 3 losses have been against teams that have been really good: the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Bills. But to win a Super Bowl, you've got to beat good teams. last week, Chris Collinsworth said something really interesting in the broadcast. He asked the question, did winning the Super Bowl in 2019, 2020 take some of the edge off of this Kansas City team? That win against San Francisco was a comeback win. They won the Super Bowl in February 2020, but they don't have that same drive, that same killer instinct. They look a little bit complacent. The defense has not improved. So we'll see how the schedule unfolds, but they've dug themselves into this hole. But at the same time, we can't write them off just yet. When you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, Kansas City is never going to be out of it. So they should win this game against Washington, and they're going to need to keep pace in terms of the division and with an eye towards the playoffs and the postseason. So that's it for this week in the AFC. In the next video, I want to take a look at some of the other divisions in the NFL heading into week 6. But please like and subscribe if you're interested in football content, college football, NFL, fantasy football. We've got that here. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you.